Yes. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening to all our listeners.
Welcome to another episode of Nothing But a Tea, Your Midnight Snack.
Talk show of the year.
As we all know that this pandemic really affect each and every one of us in every aspect of our life, we have four young guests for tonight. But before we introduce them, let me ask you a question, partner.
Yes, girl, go, go, go.
As I said a while ago that we all saw the disruption of this pandemic, then how did this pandemic affect you?
Honestly, the pandemic gave me both advantages and disadvantages. There was the fear of catching the stupid virus, taking it home, and infecting my mom. I'm not afraid of dying because of the virus. I'm afraid I'd be the reason my mom dies. School has also been a lot harder for me, and it had an effect on me mentally as well. I had bigger chances of having anxiety attacks. It was horrible. On the bright side, being a mostly introverted person, I was able to get the me time I want, time to myself. Throughout the year, I was able to focus more on self improvement. Although I'm not the best version of myself yet, but I'm proud to say that I'm a survivor. I have grown as a person and I'm growing better than before.
Very well said, partner. So going back to our main event things, which are the hot topics and answer of our young guest, we will now introduce them.
So for our first guest, Bautista Maurice, Bella has a lot of spicy questions for you.
Yes. And first in the line, I want to ask you on how did this pandemic affect your love life?
Due to the pandemic, I can say that my love life has been affected by overthinking, but then I trust my partner too much, which lessens my anxiety and worries. Also, we're not able to meet up unlike before, since we first think our health, and that's why we spend time together chatting and doing video calls or FaceTime.
Yes. Okay, for my next question, this is for clarification and to take more in depth about your love life. Were you able to meet new people in the middle of the pandemic?
Of course, we're still in the middle of a pandemic, and the risk to our health is just out there everywhere. So yeah, of course, I'm able to meet new people nowadays through social media platforms, and I also try to reconnect my old friends, which has just happened through online because of the pandemic that we are facing.
That's great to hear.
The tension is really rising, and I know that our listeners are starting to feel excited as well. So let's not prolong the opportunity and we will go straight to the next question, which is how do you build trust with someone you just met online? Because, of course, partner, no, everything is in online. Everything like relationship, they are also built in online, right?
Nothing but the truth, partner.
So, Maris, how do you build your trust to someone you just met online?
I build trust with someone I met online or through social media by doing some background checking, through chatting with them and asking them about their personal life. Also, if they're consistent in talking all along, like if you have been paying attention to the details of the story they tell, in that way, you will really know how to build trust with someone you just met online.
That is so informative, and I know that our listeners are able to fully understand what you've said. Thank you for that. So, for our last question, this is quite a spicy question, and I know that our listeners will relate. Wait, drum beat. Tum 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 tum. Will you count online relationship as real one or not?
For me, I count online relationship are real, not only about love, but also in friendships that are formed online. When it comes to love, it depends if you feel the same way and you spend a lot of time making conversations, playing games, or whatever, and focusing completely on each other. What you are doing together online is considered as a real one for me.
Yes, 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 yes. It's the
Thank
spice for me.
you.
It's the brain for me. Thank you so much, Maris Bautista, for answering the question about how much this pandemic affected your relationship.
Enough about love life. Why don't we talk about school life instead? We've all been through struggles with when it comes to ACADS, right, partner?
Nothing but a truth. School gave me a massive headache.
Now that we're at it, I'll ask you first, partner. How has your life been as a student, especially at this time of the pandemic?
As a high school senior, this quarantine had seemed to just chop off the fun part of my senior year. We had made it so far, and we're so close to getting to experience all the exciting events and traditions set aside for seniors. This includes our graduation, prom, which is a seniors only event at my previous school, and other activities done only in person. It is indeed sad because I don't get those experiences and those steps.
Oh gosh, that's so relatable. I've always been looking forward to those events ever since I was younger. But anyway, going back, next up we have Aquino Alea. So Alea, hi. How have you been?
I'm doing good, thank you.
That's great then. Are you ready for the first question?
Yeah, spill it, girl.
Okay, let me ask you, how did the pandemic affect your school life? Especially now that we're engaging in online learning, is it beneficial or does it give you more hassle? Go ahead, Alea.
Online learning has drastically reduced my social confidence, especially when talking to other people. Being distant with my peers really affected my social interaction with others, and it's not the same as before. On the first few days of online school, I was really anxious about how I will talk and approach my colleagues, since I've been around the same people for a lot of years now. But as time passes by, I have learned that it really takes time, and now I'm very close with my classmates by sharing our stories and helping out each other on academic matters.
Wow, that is wow. With everything going on though, how do you manage your time in school and at home? I mean, personally, school works and home chores get mixed up a lot in this household, right, partner?
Yes, it's been a lot more stressful than before now.
How about you, Alea?
I manage my time by setting a schedule or making a plan using the time management. Managing our time during this online learning is very important right now since we're all in online class. We all know that we might experience hard work, laziness, tiredness inside this online learning. That's why I think managing our time is our first priority as a student. If it's time for school, only do your school assignments, DLP, and projects, and don't let anything or anyone to bother you so you can finish it on time. Then when you're done finishing, you may start on resting or doing household chores.
Oh, that's amazing. Time management is the key, everyone. Always keep that in mind, all right? Now, Alea, personally, do you think online learning helped you more than face-to-face classes, or is it the other way around?
I think face-to-face classes are much more easier and beneficial than the online learning.
Oh, really? Why do you think so?
I personally think that the online learning has negative and positive sides. The positive one is I find it easier to communicate with my classmates and teachers easily by using the social media platforms. While on face-to-face classes, I interact with them physically. And the negative one, to be honest, pandemic really affect my school life because I cannot interact with my classmates physically anymore. And it's so hard for me now to understand the lessons to every subjects due to unstable internet connections.
Way to go, Alea. Now, for the last question, how did online learning affect your socialization with your fellow students? I'm sure there are both positive side and a negative side on this one. Could you explain that to us, Alea?
It really affects me as a student because I cannot socialize with any of my new classmates right now with my new school. I'm also dying to know them very well.
since the school I enrolled to was very new for me and I really want to meet them or get to know them more in person. But due to the pandemic, I can do that little dream of mine. But I'm still glad that we can still communicate through the social media platforms like what we are doing right now. I also might say that I was also very excited on working hard and cooperating with them to reach all of our goals in life.
All right, Alea, you answered all the questions quite well. Thank you so much. You did great. Now, moving on to our third chat. Partner, the mic is yours.
Yes. For our third part, we will take a deeper understanding regarding our mental health. So, partner, before we introduce our guests for the topic about mental health, I will ask you a question. Just a simple question. How was communication affected in this pandemic in the field of expressing oneself?
Personally, I think communication has been a great challenge, especially at this time of the pandemic. People don't get to see each other and talk that in person that much anymore. And it's more difficult to express your thoughts and opinions through online platforms like messages or emails and many more. I mean, with written conversations, there is more tendency for people to misunderstand each other, and there's a much stronger possibility for these misunderstandings to cause conflict. So for me, face-to-face talks are much better, and I think the pandemic made a huge impact on that. You get me?
Yes, definitely. Thank you, partner. So I know that all of our listeners out there also feel the excitement for our topic. So without further ado, Samarita, let's get it.
Hello everyone.
Hello, Samarita. So Diana, for my first question, are you ready?
Of course, it's just a question.
Of course, it is a question. So my first question would be, how did this pandemic affect your mental health?
Okay, I was so depressed because the pandemic was so unexpected. And at first, I was so scared because I heard a lot of people die because of the virus. And we don't we don't go outside to buy some food, medicines, and the other things that are important because of the pandemic. I can't go to the place I want to. This pandemic, I haven't processed much yet because I'm still confused about why there is a virus. And now I'm studying at home through online classes and constantly experience loss of connection. So it stressed me out. So that's how pandemic affected my mental health.
Okay, wow. We're so sorry to hear that. So for my next question, this is quite a serious mode, and I know that our listeners also need this answer from you. Where do you think can you find self-help material for depression?
Of course, with the help of my family, my friends, and the other people close to me. They are the only ones I know who can help me. But the most important person who can help you to your depression is yourself. Loving and taking care of yourself is the most important.
Very good. I like it. You deserve a standing ovation and a round of applause. Okay, so for my last question, I know that each and every listeners we have, they want to know on what's your advice on how they will handle their mental health in this time of pandemic.
Okay, first, please take care of yourself. Drink vitamins, sleep early, and eat at the right time because we don't know pandemic will end. So maybe this pandemic is the opportunity to spend time with your parents and take care of them. So please be safe, everyone.
Thank you very much, Samarita. I know that we all have a lot of questions on how mental health affect each and every one of us in this time of pandemic. Before we end this topic, I just want to point out that communication to your friends and family is really important if you have a problem in terms of mental health. So partner, who's next?
For this topic, we will be focusing more on family life. A bit more personal than the other topics, but let's make sure not to get a bit too sensitive here. Don't you worry, guys, we got you.
That will not be a problem, partner. We're good at keeping things in lane, and that is our 10.
I couldn't agree with you more. Before our last guest, take the spotlight first, partner. Let me ask you. Growing up, is your relationship with your family great, good, or just meh?
It is great, simply because I am also great.
Then great, great. Now, last but not the least, let us welcome Reyes Anesita.
Good day, everyone. My warmest greeting to you all.
Hi, Anesita. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking.
That's nice to hear. Are you ready for the questions, though?
Of course.
Alrighty, let's begin. First question, how did the pandemic affect your family life? Was it in a positive way or in a negative way?
This pandemic is affecting my family because we don't know how long it will take before it ends. It's difficult to find a job now. You need to be persistent and you also need to be very careful. When one of us catches the virus, there is a possibility that even the other people he or she interacts with also be positive. So my family needs to be very careful.
Thank you for letting us know, Anisita. Now, can you please tell us, did the pandemic help you spend more time with your family at home? Given that you're technically stuck with them at your house and you're not able to freely go out whenever you want to for more than a year now?
Yes, because being at home every day can be a way for our family to have a bonding time together. In this way, we are able to make a happy moment with memories with another.
Oh, wow. The next question will be quite similar to the previous one. Anisita, how did the pandemic affect your interaction and your communication to your family? Were you able to talk to them more? Were you able to strengthen your bond throughout the year? Enlighten us, please.
My family and I are talking now through social media platform. My dad and my brother are in our province because we started a business there. And my mom rarely comes home because she's a barangay staff and she's need to be there to hand out relief goods for the people. Then my sister works somewhere far to help our household expenses. It's a bit complicated, that's why we rarely talk in person and only communicated through online.
That sounds nice, Anisita. Now, for our last and final question, do you prefer spending time with your family or your friends?
I personally enjoy bonding with my family.
How so?
Spending time with my family allows me to grow with them and deepen our love for each other. We strengthen our bonds and create special memories you never forget. Spending time with your family doesn't have to be anything complex. Being able to talk to my parents really help us have to open relationship, and that's where I really love.
All right then. Thank you for that wonderful answer, Anisita. And thank you very much, Maurice, Alea, Diana, and Anisita. All of you have been very participative, and it was fun chatting with all four of you.
Today, we were able to talk about a lot of things. Our chats revolve around love life, school life, mental health, and family life.
That is right, partner, and we will talk about so much more next time. Did you have fun today, though?
Of course I did. By chatting with our beautiful young guest, we were able to get to know them better.
True, and I'm very glad despite our questions being quite personal, they were still very responsive and answered us with full transparency and honesty.
Same here, partner. Thank you for trusting us and our listeners, ladies. Your information are safe with us. No judgment involved. I swear.
Correct, but sad to say, partner, we will have to end our chat right here.
Quite unfortunate, but I accept. Our guest needs rest, and so do we.
Again, thanks to our guests for participating in today's chat, and also thank you all for joining and listening to us today.
My name is John Lloyd.
And my name is Princess.
And this is All About the Tea, your midnight snack.
Talk show of the year.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, bye.